It is time to press snooze on the news and turn to the only opinions that really count. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Noviello. It is time to get for real. My panel tonight is back for another round. She might think she's Rachel from Friends, but she is definitely a Monica. From Good Day, it is Shannon
I had
Murray.
to face that reality quite a few years ago.
He once hunted down my cell phone number. Turns out all he needed was a recommendation for a good haircut. Fox 4 Sports Director Mike Ducey is here.
Clearly, I haven't used your guy yet.
I was hoping, you know. And we met during a story shoot 20 years ago, and she's not sorry. Please welcome Miss Cheryl Action Jackson.
Glad
Good
to
to
be
see
here.
you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I have to say, last night was kind of heavy, right? I mean, we got to some heavy-hitting topics, so we're going to lighten things up a little bit tonight because it is time to take two. Anybody who says that money cannot buy happiness probably doesn't know where to shop. But exactly how much money you need to be happy, well, that can be up for debate, unless you are a millennial who has popped a price tag on it.
The relationship between money and happiness is a complex one. While money can provide comfort and security, it does not guarantee happiness. Research suggests that beyond a certain income level that meets basic needs, additional money has diminishing returns in terms of increasing happiness. Other factors such as relationships, personal values, and overall life satisfaction play a significant role in determining happiness. Ultimately, it's important to find a balance between financial stability and pursuing things that truly bring joy and fulfillment. I'd like to search for joy and fulfillment while driving my Maserati to my Montana ranch.
Wouldn't we all, Moira? Always good to see you. Now, according to the Harris poll earlier this year, 59% of respondents think that happiness can be bought if you've got about $1.2 million in the bank. Now, how do you get there depends on who you ask. So Generation Z says $128,000 a year ought to do it. Generation X, about $130K. Boomers are okay with $124,000, but it is the millennials who say the magic number is a salary of $525,000 a year. And while their net worth is up as a generation, their financial stability is down as they tend to hold more education debt and more credit card debt. No, money cannot buy happiness, but it certainly makes being miserable a lot more enjoyable. So we've got a bunch of different generations here, so
I think
to
I'm the
speak.
only millennial.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you. Why do you need so much money?
I think there are a lot of factors. First of all, I do not think money buys happiness. I think it helps. I think if you're an unhappy person, no amount of money is going to make you happy.
I would agree.
But, you know, when it comes to millennials specifically, you know, I graduated college in 2009 during a recession, couldn't get a job, got into some credit card debt. I understand that mentality of, oh, those hard, people had to pay off college, they had student loans still. Now, you know, I'm 36, we're having our first child, we've got a home, we just got married. You know, you're in that phase of life where it's like, man, a little extra cash would be nice.
Well, because things are expensive. Listen, when we joke around about, you know, there was just a meme the other day about the house on Home Alone. And they say the worst part about it is watching the movie, knowing that Kevin McAllister's parents paid $300,000 for that house. That's the most depressing part of Home Alone these days. Mike, what about you?
You know, can money buy happiness? In a word, yes. Yes, it can. No, I don't know if money can buy happiness, but I think, you know, a lack of money can cause a type of stress that can lead to unhappiness, sadness, however you want to put it. I almost think that's more of a factor than actually having the money. The fact that you're trying to struggle without it can just lead to so many negative things that I think that can become a real problem for people.
Cheryl, why do you think the millennials, I mean, that 525, that's a far jump from even the closest generation, which I think was about 130.
But I'm with them. Shoot, show me the money. You know what I'm saying?
She says with her red bottom shoes on.
That's a birthday present. You know, I couldn't buy it, but it bought me. Somebody bought happiness for me, right? And so yes, it can buy happiness. You know, I deal with a lot of people in the community that don't have money. So let's go from that perspective. When I'm standing in front of someone who needs something as simple as their next meal, and I give them that, but then one of my volunteers say, well, can I give them $100? And then they start crying. So the happiness sometimes for people is really peace. And the peace sometimes is, can I pay my light bill? Can I pay my water bill? So when you go from that perspective, yes, money can buy their happiness and their peace of mind. Yeah, so it's all in how you look at it.
I can't put it any better than that. That is so well put, that money can buy peace, can buy security,
Right.
to a certain extent, and there's no substitute for that.
What we do know is broke show can't buy no happiness. I can tell you that much. We don't know what money can do.
When we're talking about your generation, though, Shannon, do you think it's because there's such a bigger focus on experiences? And you're also a generation of social media. When I was growing up, I didn't know what my neighbors were having for dinner because I couldn't go on Facebook and look. I didn't know who was vacationing where, but you guys are kind of
my friends spending the summer in Italy, then
everybody,
they're going to
right?
Greece, and you see these influencers, you see people online, so yeah, you're very aware of what other people have. And so maybe it makes you think you need that to be happy. And social media is the highlight reel. So you're seeing everybody's highlights. You're thinking, I want that. I need that.
Where did you guys go for your honeymoon? Remind me. It was something like beautiful and very far away, right?
The Maldives.
Yeah.
That's where you went. Did it make you happy?
It made me very happy.
We went on a cruise in the Caribbean.
Right.
My parents are like, who do you think you are?
But do you think that you would have chosen that or even known about it if not having grown up on Instagram?
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's a pretty remote area. But
you know what, Steve, you just said that you didn't know growing up what your next door neighbor was eating, right? That was completely opposite from me. I was so happy because my mother would borrow butter and milk from my neighbor. We knew what they were cooking, and we were happy running next door to Miss Neal's house and saying, we ain't got no butter. Can we have some butter? And they give us butter. We were happy to go back home and give. So you see what I'm saying? It's just crazy how life and generations are so different, but it made us happy to know who our next door neighbor was.
You know, there's a saying that says comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes,
and I think there's some truth to that, but on the other hand, I think we all want those who are getting older like I am, the next generations to be able to enjoy things that we didn't. And I know that's the case with my kids, and you know, I have two daughters who are in roughly your age range, and they enjoy the experiences that a certain level of affluence might afford them, and I don't begrudge that generation that. It's just when perspectives become a little bit skewed that I think it becomes a problem.
And you have to decide where you're going to spend your money, right? I mean, okay, we wanted to go on this great honeymoon because we said we want to start a family right away, and we're not going to travel for a while.
Right.
So let's
blow
go
it out.
big, and then we're not traveling.
Well, I was listen. When I was in my folks, you know, you get behind the wheel of that new car, and it's real exciting, and then you drive it off the lot, and guess what?
First of the month.
It's just a big car payment from then on. All right. After the break, she was canned for calling out her employer. Now, one North Texas teacher is out of a job. Should your social media make or break your career? Plus, the latest trend in holiday gift giving: don't. Who on the panel is getting coal in their stocking? And remember, we want to see you on the panel. You can send your text video comments to our topics tonight or any night to 214-818-9114. Used to be you had to suck at your job to lose it. Now all you have to do is suck at social media. From a body positive photo shoot that had a negative reaction from management to complaining about working conditions, is everything you post for the world to see fair game when it comes to making hiring and firing decisions? One Austin ISD teacher says no, and now she's off the job.
Okay, so today I got pulled into a check-in meeting with my administrator at school, and she had this lovely list of concerns that she wanted to bring to my attention, but my favorite amongst them is, we've noticed an intentional attempt at teaching your students about their legal and constitutional rights. That's the concern. They're concerned. Why are you concerned? Why is that a concern? Why is it a concern? Why is it a concern? Why does that concern you? Why is it a concern?
Okay, a couple of quick notes here. She did appeal the decision of her dismissal, and it was recently held up. Now, we could get into whether or not, you know, the concern is a concern, which quite frankly, I think it's a little annoying on the third or fourth time. But the bigger picture here is, should social media be grounds for hiring and firing? And I want to start with you because I think the three of us have a very different experience with that because of who we work for. What do you think?
Why are you going to put me on the spot like that?
mean, so the folks that work for you at Minnie's, for example, the food pantry, I mean, if one of them decided to have a boudoir bedroom,
I bet they better not. Absolutely not. My mother and my father used to say that your name is all that you have, protected. And so if you're working for me, that's my name. And if you're a part of my name, I let you into this brand that I've created. And so I expect you to uphold the morals and everything of the brand. And when you step outside of that, I'm coming at you.
Mm-hmm. I know for us, it's kind of a fine line because there's a pressure to have a social media presence, to also have a presence that attracts clicks and likes and engagement. In fact, there used to be a big scoreboard in the newsroom. Remember when we had I think it was Share Rocket or whatever it was, and every day you would come in and see who's on the leaderboard.
Who's performing.
Deucey, you won, didn't you?
Right, but once or twice. But don't do anything too provocative that night. So
you don't want to cross that line. I mean, I always err on the side of caution.
Yes.
We have to post for our job. I post news articles. I'll post behind the scenes photos. But if I ever am doubting something, should I post this? Then I don't.
Well, your gut's probably right.
Yeah, I trust my gut.
It's probably bad that I admired her post when I saw that. I thought, man, I wish I could do that. There's been a time or two over the last 30 years that maybe I've had a disagreement with the management here at Fox 4, and it's been tempting to go that route. And maybe in a subtle way, a time or two I have. For sure. I think maybe you guys have as well. So you're right. Our experience is somewhat different in that we are always on the clock, so to speak. We are always representatives of this television station. I can't speak necessarily to other professions so much, but I tend to agree with Cheryl and say, I'm sorry, if you're drawing a paycheck from this organization, from this company, from this school district, then even what you do off the clock, if it reflects on your employer in a negative way, you're held responsible for it.
And can I be clear? I don't have a problem if you're having a bad day. I posted once on Facebook that I was having a bad day, and in my inbox, people were like, we don't want to hear that. You're the motivator, you're this. So there was nothing wrong with me saying I'm having a bad day. But when you're going completely up against the company that you're working for, that should be something that's done within your company. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and the Austin ISD said it wasn't the post, it was kind of the disruption that it caused to the workday. But Mike, you bring up an interesting point, because I think that for us here, our equity is really based in being a trustworthy, fact-facing source for people. So you get on social media and you start mouthing off about whatever the latest topic is. I mean, even this environment. I mean, the two of you are sitting here being asked to give your opinion.
It's a little uncomfortable.
It's a little uncomfortable, right? And it's designed to be.
Are you scared? What's going on here at Fox?
And sometimes how offended a company, how offended a boss is a reflection of how secure or insecure they are.
Right.
And
that's good.
That's another discussion probably for another day. I'll let Noviello get in trouble over that one.
Let him lose his job over it, not Doozy.
All right, good chat, guys. Coming up next, I'm getting nothing for Christmas, and guess what? Neither are you. But is our panel ready to buy in to the latest trend in holiday gift giving? And we're going to go one-on-one with our guest, Cheryl Jackson, when we come back.
We are? What are we doing?
Tis the season for giving and getting, but might a better idea be a season of skipping? That is the new trend making the rounds, whether it's to save money, reduce stress, or something completely unrelated. Couples are taking the gifts out of Christmas present. But is our panel ready to pull the plug on the $62 billion a year global gift market? Those red bottoms.
They were a gift.
They were a gift.
Yep. Everything I'm wearing is a gift. All my life I had to fight, Steve. I'm going to fight for my gift.
Hey, Cheryl, it's a gift to us, too. Thank you.
But I can't. I mean, Christmas is probably one of the only times we get gifts, and you're going to take it from me? No, baby. I'm going to fight on this one. Send me my presents.
So in your family, do you exchange
Yes,
gifts
we
with your
do. And
spouse?
sometimes they're not the same as what we give, and that's a whole nother segment, right? But at least it's a thought.
Part of it.
Right, it is part of it. But it's really the thought that someone thought about me on Christmas, right? And I don't want you to take that I want to know you was thinking about me during
Right.
the holidays.
Yeah.
And I know my parents were pastors, so that I know, please don't write in talking about it's about Jesus. I already know Christmas is about Jesus, right? But I still want Jesus. He was a present. I want a present. That's what I want to say.
And now you're newlywed. I mean,
Yeah,
this
and
is
you
your
know,
first Christmas as a
I
married
actually
couple.
suggested this to my husband. I said, you know, if you want something, you just can go get it. I
Yeah.
don't need to tell you what I need. If I need something, I'll order it myself. You know, we don't need to do the whole gift exchange. It feels silly. He was so disappointed. He was like, no, I like giving gifts. You know, that's his love language. He wants to do gifts, so we're doing gifts. And you know what my parents always did growing up? They fill each other's stockings.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I think, you know,
sweet.
now we're having our first child next year. And maybe once we have kids and we're getting the gifts for the kids, we'll change our tune a little bit. But for now, we're sticking with the gifts. But I liked the way my parents always did it. Just
Yes.
focus on each other's stockings and they don't do a big, you know, wrapped gift.
My wife and I have said for years, okay, let's tone it down. Let's tone it down. We don't need to do the big gifts. You know, we'll go on a trip, a couple of trips, whatever. That'll be our gift. And we never seem to follow through. Christmas comes around, there's still a bunch of gifts because we just enjoy it. Now, they're not always surprises. I frustrate my wife because I know what I want for Christmas. I'll just tell her, get me this. This is what I want.
Yeah.
This will make me happy. And then I think that ruins some of it for her because she wants it to be a surprise. So
Yeah.
the gifts are still there. We're not always
Yeah.
shocked on Christmas morning, but I still like giving a gift.
And Shannon, if you let your man off the hook one Christmas, I've been married 37 years, honey. You're going to be mad the next one. You're like, that was last year. I want gifts this year. And you're going to be like, no.
So-
Remember, this was
That's
your
what your
idea.
idea. Don't give it to him.
Doug and I do not exchange Christmas gifts. We
Oh,
don't do it. Now, we used to, way back in the day, I mean, we've been together for 21 years now. So back in the day, okay, we did it, and our financial situation wasn't once what it is today. So then we would try, okay, let's do a limit, $100, which of course someone would always go over, and then the other person would feel bad. I mean, one Christmas I remember, the only credit he had was like on a Kohl's charge card. So I was opening up gifts on Christmas morning, and it was like, oh, a rice cooker. Okay. Oh, the Vera Wang towel collection.
It was a Kohl's Christmas.
It was a very Kohl's Christmas, is what we still. So years ago, we said, you know what, enough. We do birthdays because that's
Yeah.
one off. But we said, why don't we every 2 weeks take a set amount of money from our paycheck, divert it into a family vacation account, and once a year, let's go have an experience
great.
together. You know?
Yeah.
And it's paid for before you ever, leave
Right.
for the vacation. So I think that there's all sorts of ways
It's
to
factors.
doing it.
See, we're back to the experiences. Maybe us
Well,
millennials
maybe
are
the
on
millennials
something,
know.
okay?
They
Right?
do know, right? But you know what, Steve, when my kids were little, I didn't have anything to give
Right.
them for Christmas. So, there were angels that would ring my doorbell and give them something. And when I was growing up, I didn't get a lot. Like I got a pen set and the pen didn't write. And I remember in the bathroom mirror crying, going, it's got to write, at least, with a pen and pencil set. And so now that I'm older, I'm like, gifts just mean so much to me because I didn't have it growing up and my kids didn't have it. So I want to give more. And it makes such joy when I give the gift.
Yes.
I get a gift of gift. So I'll come back and give y'all a gift for Christmas and watch y'all smile.
Which is
Because
a
you
gift
want
in
it.
itself.
It's
I
a
do
gift.
like thoughtful. Like one year he got me like a year subscription to the car wash. Great gift.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, perfect.
Romantic.
Right. Yeah.
Well, so
Now,
last year
when you
for
got
my-
it, were you happy about
I was.
it? Oh,
I
were
was.
you?
Although
Okay.
last year he got me
Were
for my
you?
birthday because I'm like, well, just get me something that you think I'll love. And I opened it up and it was $250 worth of Starbucks gift cards. And I was like, I'm not your damn secretary. But I'll tell you what, for the next 6 months, or 6 days, depending on what
And
I
you
ordered
thought
at
about
I
it.
Starbucks.
know you go to
it was
Starbucks
pretty-
daily.
it
I
was
see
pretty
you walking
nice.
over there.
And you thought about him every time you used that
Exactly.
card.
That's
See?
just so gifting for birthdays. My birthday is December 20th. So that's always been a big
Yes.
thing that my loved ones have always made sure to gift me for
Very nice.
birthday and
Wow.
for Christmas.
Well,
So,
happy
in
early
case anybody's
birthday.
wondering, my birthday.
That's
All right.
crazy.
Coming up next, Cheryl Jackson is our friend in the fourth chair. She knows if your donations are going to end up on the naughty or the nice list this holiday season. All right, fun fact about our guest today. After I featured her in a closet renovation segment 20 years ago, she gave me a bear hug on live TV, and we have not let go yet. You may know her from Minnie's Food Pantry Or that time I tuned into Howie Mandel's game show and there she was. But we know her as
She's everywhere.
Cheryl Action
Deal or no
Jackson.
deal? Why did you bring that up?
I was like, this woman is everywhere, right? Okay, so I want to talk about minis because it's obviously a busy season for you guys.
is.
And I was just reading an article the other day, and they said the greatest wish of the local food bank is that people would treat the whole year like they treat this season.
Yeah, I think people are only hungry during Thanksgiving and maybe Christmas, but Thanksgiving Day and then it just poofs goes away. It doesn't go away. It gets even worse because now it's from Thanksgiving all the way through the first of the year during this time that families are having a moment with their families at the table and there's nothing on the table. And so all year long, Minnie's Food Pantry, we've made a commitment that every family that comes to us will get healthy meals, receive healthy meals.
Is there stuff that people donate? They were saying, cereal's nice, but maybe these families don't have milk, so find oatmeal. Or how do you help people
So
navigate?
proud of you,
I'm
Steve.
telling you, I did my
Look
research.
at you.
I
He
knew you were
did his
coming.
research. Bravo. Yes, and that's exactly right. They'll donate cereal and they're looking at me going, we don't have milk. But at Minnie's, we do give milk. However, oatmeal is a good way, right? Oatmeal is really the most popular thing. And the fruit bars for the kids, right? Because a lot of the kids, we're inside of the schools now. We have 14 locations and we're inside of some of the schools. And so the kids will go to the counselor and say, we need something for breakfast. And so when you donate those fruit bars, et cetera, they're able to eat those for a breakfast or even for lunch. So it's very important.
Well, and I feel like so many food pantries now are changing. It's not the way it used to be where, okay, here's your bag of food and work with that. Because, you could get something in that bag and say, I don't know how to cook with eggplant, or I don't know how to make this. So you either have to teach people, how work with them on the recipes and how to make the food,
right.
Or give them foods that are culturally appropriate or that they actually will eat. And I know that's something you guys talk about and focus on.
Well, Shannon, I started Minnie's because I was once the person in line and they gave me this bag of foreign everything and everything was expired. So whenever people started donating to Minnie's, I began to ask them to close your eyes. And then I said, open them up. If the person you love the most was in front of you, is this the meal you would like for me to serve them? Because they could have been here yesterday or they could come here tomorrow. And I think that changed the mindset of our community. And so now we have like 36 partner locations that we pick up. And I mean, we give everything from steaks and crab meat and everything that you and we eat from Whole Foods, they donate that to us. But when the individuals are donating, please don't donate the things that you just was trying to clean out your closet. I don't want to throw away the stuff you should have thrown away. I'm just real with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Expired food.
So tell people in the seconds we have remaining here, how can they get involved? Where can they find out more information?
It's real easy. Just go to minniesfoodpantry.org and all of the information is on our website.
All right, you come back tomorrow?
I'm coming back every time you call me.
Right, we are back tomorrow with the blackface controversy that
Lord.
may have given a rise.
Not the blackface, Steve.
Still want to come back?
The black eye. Remember, whether you are starting your day or just wrapping it up, opinions are like air fresheners. Yours is kind of nice, but everyone else's stinks.